Yeah, hello students. The previous videos I explained parabola and ellipse completely. Go through those videos to get good score in JEE. It is the most important concept in the conic section. If you are thorough with those two videos, do it completely. You see the go through the complete videos. If you see 1 or 2 minutes, it doesn't help you. Go through the complete video. All important points are included. Now, you after that you can follow this hyperbola. It will be easy to learn. This is an hyperbola concept. Generally, if you take any conic, the eccentricity should be greater than 1. A conic is said to be hyperbola if eccentricity greater than 1 is equal to 1 means parabola. Less than 1 ellipse we discussed. Greater than 1 hyperbola. We can define the hyperbola another way also. This is two fixed points, foci S and S dash are called foci. Two fixed lines, directrix. Two fixed lines are called directrix. This is directrix. Here they will say this axis are called two axes are conjugate axis, transfer axis. This is transfer axis, this is conjugate axis. Both are called principal axis of the hyperbola. Two foci and two fixed lines will be there. Same with two vertices A and A dash are the vertices. Then what they are saying here, in this hyperbola, what they observe, you see the distance, you take any point in the hyperbola, let it be on point P1. The distance from SP1 minus S dash P, SP1 minus S dash P1 is also equal to, you take a point P2. Now, S dash P2 minus SP2 will be same. The difference between two focal distance will be constant. This is called focal distance. This is called focal distance. What they are saying here, the distance between two focal distance, always the difference of two focal distance is constant. That there is the concept of hyperbola. But in the ellipse, the sum of the focal distance is constant, which is equal to length of major axis. Here also, the difference is always constant, which is equal to length of, you can see, length of transfer axis. A dash is called length of transfer axis, which is equal to A only. That we will discuss later. Now, suppose this is a general equation. A non-homogeneous second degree equation, ax square plus 2hx square plus by square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c equal to 0 represents hyperbola if h square greater than ab, delta not equal to 0. What is the meaning of delta? Delta means in the previous class we discussed about delta. Delta means abc plus 2fgh minus af square minus bc square minus h square is that is the value of delta. You can remember that. Even again determinant of ahg, hbf, gfc, that is called delta. Like ahg, determinant of ahg, hbf, gfc, that is called delta, not equal to 0. Here, suppose if rectangular hyperbola, the rule h square greater than ab, delta not equal to 0 and a plus b is equal to 0 in the case of rectangular hyperbola. This rule if you get, then it will be easy to define here. So then they are saying about a plus b is equal to 0 for in the case of rectangular hyperbola. This you should remember. Now here you can see here the center. If we know this, the center I can write h of minus bc by ab minus h square, gh minus a of by ab minus h square. You can write this. This is the rule of center. Correct. Center is equal to h of minus bc ab minus h square, gh minus ab minus h square. Some people what they will do, they will partial differentiation. Dou s by dou x equal to 0, dou f by dou y equal to 0. Solve those two equations, we will get center. Dou s by dou x, considering y as constant. Dou s by dou x equal to 0. Dou s by dou y equal to 0, considering x as constant. One time considering y as constant, one time considering x as constant. Solve those two equations, it gives center of any conic. Like that we can define about the center of the conic. Now you can observe here. This is standard equation of the hyperbola x square by a square minus y square by b square is equal to 1. Standard equation of the hyperbola. Same thing here. We discussed that this is the transverse axis and this is conjugate axis, vertices and directrices. Now again see here, it is symmetric about both the axes, always symmetric about both the axes. Along with x-axis, along with the y-axis, symmetric about both the axes. Because both have even powers, right? X and y having even powers means it is symmetric about both the axes. Next, it does not pass through the origin. The hyperbola does not pass through the origin and also does not meet the y-axis. No way connected with y-axis, does not meet the y-axis. And also hyperbola curve does not exist between the lines x equal to minus a and x equal to a. You will get the line x equal to a here. You will get the line x equal to minus a. The hyperbola does not lie between the curves x equal to minus a and x is equal to a. Now these are the notations in between. We are going to use that. S is equal to x square by a square minus y square b square minus 1. S1 x1 square by a square minus y1 square b square minus 1. T xx1 by a square minus y1 by b square minus 1. S1 2 x1 x2 by a square minus y1 by 2 by b square minus 1. These notations you should remember to find different types of equations, tangent equation, chord equation, if you know midpoint of the chord, how to write equation of the chord, all that if you remember this notation easily we can write. Again see the again comparison both the hyperbolas, center 0 0 and b square equal to a square d square minus 1 in any hyperbola when center is h comma k. This comparison both center 0 0, center h comma k. Vertex, this is a dash. What is vertex? The distance with CA is always fixed. C to A, the distance is always A units. CA dash A units. So that is the reason A dash will be minus A comma 0. A will be A comma 0. At the same time, this is H comma K. Distance will be fixed. So that is the reason A will become H plus A comma K. A dash H minus A comma K. Again, the distance from CZ is A by E. So this point Z point will be A by E comma 0. Z dash minus A by E comma 0. Same time, the equation of directrix x equal to A by E, x equal to minus A by E. Since it is a vertical line, take x coordinate, it gives the equation of that line. Same here, if I am comparing Z dash, the distance will be fixed from C to Z, the distance will be A by E only. The point is H comma K, we are moving towards right, H plus A by E comma K, the Z dash, you will get H minus, you will get A by E comma K, Z dash. Equation of directrix is x equal to H plus A by E, x equal to H minus A by E. Now, when you are talking, this is the transfer axis, equation to y equal to 0. Conjugate axis, equation is x equal to 0. Here also same thing, there is no, here y equal to k equation of transfer axis, conjugate axis x equal to h. Now foci, so the distance will be same thing, C to S A E comma 0, but this point is h comma k, h plus A E comma k, h minus A E comma k. The line which passing through focus and perpendicular to transfer axis is known as latus rectum. This is latus rectum. End points you can see h minus A E comma k minus b square by a, h minus A E k plus b square by a. Why? Because length of the latus rectum is 2b square by a. So this is double ordinate, so this is called double ordinate. So SL1 equal to SL1 dash. So that is this b square by a, b square by a. Yeah, same thing. B square by a, b square by a. So length of the latus rectum. You can write length of the latus rectum L1 dash 2b square by a. Here also 2b square by a. Only the point will be different, but the length will be same 2b square by a. I can write the length will be same 2b square by a. Similarly, you can see when I am talking about A dash, length of transfer axis 2a. A dash is 2a, even BB dash is 2b. Here also A dash is 2a and BB dash is 2b. There is no change there. Correctly, always that will be fixed. So like this we can define all the values of the coordinates for each one, both the cases. Here center h comma k. Here center 0 0. Like that. When you are learn the comparison, easy to remember. Learn the comparison, easy to remember. You can see here the hyperbola in which the length of the transverse axis is equal to length of the conjugate axis. then 2a equal to b, then it implies a equal to b. Then the hyperbola is called rectangular hyperbola. Rectangular hyperbola or equilateral hyperbola when a is equal to b. The eccentricity of the rectangular hyperbola always root 2, e equal to root 2, because the relation b square equal to a square into e square minus 1. Now consider a is equal to b means you get e is equal to root 2. This is for rectangular hyperbola. Now conjugate hyperbola. What is the meaning of conjugate hyperbola? You can see here this is hyperbola when the transfer axis x, this is given hyperbola. If we take minus 1, if we draw hyperbola, if we rotate like this, this is this hyperbola, if we take conjugate hyperbola along with conjugate axis. This is transverse axis, this is conjugate axis. Along with the conjugate axis, this is called conjugate hyperbola. The equation will be x square by a square minus y square by b square is equal to minus 1. That will be minus 1. These are the foci. If we join all the 4 foci, it forms a square. And also these 4 foci, I can draw a circle passing through those points. Then these points are concyclic. S1, S2, S3, S4 are concyclic points. They form a square also. And also eccentricity E1 for this one given hyperbola, for conjugate hyperbola E2. Then 1 by E1 square plus 1 by E2 square is equal to 1 always. 1 by E1 square plus 1 by E2 square is equal to 1 always. Now go through the comparison between this hyperbola and this hyperbola. Both are conjugate hyperbola. Here both are conjugate hyperbola. Here the center is 0, 0, but the center is here h, k. Center h, k, and the transfer axis parallel to y axis. So sorry, transfer axis, this is parallel to y axis. This is transfer axis parallel to y axis here. Transfer axis parallel to y axis. Transfer axis parallel to y axis. Here, this is the transfer axis coincident with y axis. I have taken this one. See, center 0, 0, center h, k. Now you can observe here the distance between C to Z is the distance is b by e. So I can add b by e for k. So I can write Z h, k plus b by e. Equation of directrix y equal to k plus b by e. Similarly, equation of directrix y equal to k minus b by e. Even I can write this point here h, k minus b by e. Okay, you can remember that distance between CZ b by e here. B by e, that I should add. Here also CZ dash b by e distance coming down. So 0 minus b by e. You will get h, k minus b by e. So like this you can write all the distances. Focus 0, be. You are moving upward from center to this. So vertical line no change in x coordinate h, k plus be. You are coming down from center h, k minus be. These are the foci. Correct. Just here you remember length of transfer axis 2b. A dash is 2b. Length of conjugate axis 2a. This I can consider bb dash is, I am talking about 2a here. It will interchange, right? A dash is 2b, bb dash is 2a. I can consider. But this is the equation of the conjugate hyperbola, you remember. So all you can compare, when you are learning, you can compare all the values, easy to learn. Now this is related to auxiliary circle. If we take the transfer axis, A dash has diameter. We take center of the hyperbola as the center. Both are concentric. We take C is the center, A dash as the diameter. If it has a circle, that is called auxiliary circle. So a circle described on the transfer axis of hyperbola as diameter is called the auxiliary circle of the hyperbola. Equation of auxiliary circle is x square plus y square is equal to a square, because the distance from this is radius is a, that will be a square. Now here you can see here you will take a tangent. This tangent here, why? Because the point of, like you know here, I can see here this is that I have taken an auxiliary circle. Now this one makes an angle theta here. This is the point Q. This is the point Q. On that the theta is the eccentric angle. A cos theta, A sin theta is a point on the auxiliary circle. The point here on hyperbola A secant theta, B tan theta. P and Q are called corresponding points. theta is the eccentric angle. Theta lies between 0 to pi, including 0. I can consider this. Now here, a secant theta, b tan theta, these two are called parametric equations of x square by a square minus y square b square is equal to 1. If the center is h comma k, then these two are the parametric equations. X equal to h plus a secant theta, y equal to k plus b tan theta are the parametric equations. Now position of a line with respect to the hyperbola. If it is a tangent, if y equal to mx plus is a tangent, the condition is c square equal to a square, m square minus b square. In the case of ellipse, c square equal to a square, m square plus b square, here minus b square. Suppose the line equation of any tangent can be written as y equal to mx plus or minus root of a square, m square minus b square will be in this form. If it is secant line, it intersects at 2 points. In that case, c square less than a square, m square minus b square. Neither intersect nor touch. It is not tangent, it is not secant. C square greater than a square, m square minus b square. The point of contact minus a square by c minus b square by c. Equation of tangent x1 y1 equal to t equal to 0. Remember, you get t equal to 0 for circle, ellipse, hyperbola, anything t equal to 0 only. Ellipse, hyperbola, even circle, parabola also. At the point theta, the parametric point x by a secant theta minus y by b tan theta is equal to 1. Here you can see the direct circle of the hyperbola. Again same thing, direct circle of hyperbola. The locus of the points of intersection of the mutually perpendicular tangents to hyperbola is a circle called direct circle of the hyperbola. You can see two tangents. Suppose if theta equal 90 degrees, then the locus of P is a direct circle. If theta equal 90 degrees, the locus of P is a direct circle. Now you can see here, two tangents can be drawn from an external point always. Two tangents can be drawn. Even for ellipse, hyperbola, or anything, two tangents can be drawn from an external point. If m1, m2 are the slopes of the tangents, so one is m1, slope of this one is m1, this is m2, then we have this one, sum of these slopes 2x1 y1 by x1 square minus a square, and product of these slopes y1 square plus b square by x1 square minus a square. In the same case, I can write tan square theta equal to m1 plus m2 whole square minus 4m1 m2 by 1 plus m1 m2 whole square. That formula I can use to find theta. The tan square theta equal to. Otherwise, another way I can also use tan theta 2ab minus root of minus s1 by mod x1 square plus y1 square minus a square plus b square also I can use to find tan theta. This was I can find theta. This is also one of the formula I can use. But equation of direct circle x square plus y square equal to a square minus b square. Because when theta equal 90, the locus of P is represents equation of direct circle. m1 equal to minus 1. Take minus 1 here. You will get minus x1 square minus a square equal to y1 square plus b square. From this you will get x square plus y square equal to a square minus b square, equation of the direct circle. You can see that in hyperbola, equation, this is equation of direct circle. Just in the previous we have discussed about that. Now here if a less than b, no real circle. Because there is no such point in the plane. If a equal to b, direct circle is a point circle which is equal to 0, 0. Suppose if a greater than b, direct circle is a real circle with finite radius you will get. This is important 3 points. Next, combined equation of pair of tangents from an external point, t square equal to s1. You know the notations of s1. S means x square by a square minus y square by b square minus 1. S1, you know that notation, right? You can use S1. X1 square by a square minus y1 square by b square minus 1. T means x s1 by a square minus y1 by b square minus 1. Use this notation. Next, suppose you are taking two tangents at 2 points at p alpha and p beta. So 2 points you have taken. Then point of intersection of two tangents at these 2 points will be, for this one, a cos of alpha minus beta by 2 by cos of alpha plus beta by 2, b sin of alpha minus beta by 2 by cos of alpha plus beta by 2. Just to remember the point of intersection of two tangents at alpha and beta. So you get the point at p alpha and q beta, two different points if we take. This is the point of intersection of tangents. You can say this is related to normal. We know normal means a line which is perpendicular to tangent and passing through point of contact, the normal equation is at the point x1 y1 is, you can see x1 as x1 by a square minus y minus y1 by b square equal to 1. If you remember, you can do this. Otherwise, use application of derivative. Find you differentiate this parabolic hyperbola equation and use the point of contact, find slope of the tangent. Slope of the normal is y minus y1 equal minus 1 by m into x minus x1, where m is the slope of the tangent. Use that, you can find the equation of normal. Suppose the point is parametric. This will be the equation of normal. Ax by secant theta plus by tan theta plus a plus b square. Equation of the normal. Even 4 normals can be drawn to any point. 4 normals, always 4 normals can be drawn to a hyperbola from any point. Always 4 normals. Suppose those 4 normals, 4 normals can be drawn to a hyperbola from any point. Suppose if alpha, beta, gamma and beta eccentric angles of these 4 co-normal points, eccentric angles of these 4 co-normal points, then sum of these angles should be 2n plus 1 into pi, odd multiple of pi. Suppose when you are drawing normals at alpha, beta, gamma are concurrent, then sin of alpha plus beta, sin of beta plus gamma, sin of gamma plus alpha equal to 0. Yes, I am talking about the record of contact. Suppose if you take an external point, you can draw 2 tangents. So now these 2 tangents touches at Q and R. Q and R the point of contacts. Join these 2. Then QR is called chord of contact. Equation of QR is simply T equal to 0. That's all. Very simple. T equal to 0. Or you are writing equation of tangent like the T equal to 0. Suppose if we know the midpoint of the chord. So this is the chord. If we know the midpoint of the chord, then T equal to S1. This is the notation. Remember T equal to x1. It gives equation. If you know the midpoint of the chord, Px1 y1 is midpoint of QR, then T is equal to S1 gives equation of the asymptote. What is the meaning of asymptote? The tangents at infinity to the hyperbola are called asymptotes. These are the tangents passing through center of the hyperbola only, always. So even for rectangular hyperbola and conjugate hyperbola, both have the same asymptotes only. These are the tangents. It touches hyperbola at infinity point. Those tangents are called asymptotes. So general asymptotes, if you replace in the hyperbola equation, replace constant with 0. So then this gives replace 1 with 0. This gives combined equation of asymptotes. X square by a square minus y square b square equal to 0, combined equation of the asymptotes. That means the hyperbola and pair of asymptotes differ by only constant. So the equation of hyperbola and its pair of equation of asymptotes always differ by a constant. If it is 1, hyperbola equation. If it is 0, combined equation of pair of asymptotes. Okay. Now, the asymptotes are equally inclined to the axis of the hyperbola always. The asymptotes are equally inclined to the axis of the hyperbola. These are the axis of the hyperbola equally inclined. Now, any straight line parallel to the asymptote, intersects hyperbola at only one point. The product of the perpendiculars from any point in the hyperbola to its asymptotes, if you draw perpendiculars, the product of perpendiculars should be equal to a square b square by a square plus b square. Now, the angle between the asymptotes, you can see here, when they are talking here, angle between the asymptotes, this is theta, this is also theta. So, total 2 theta you will get. So, angle between the asymptotes, theta is equal to 2 secant inverse of a. When they are talking between angle between asymptotes, so angle between asymptotes will be always equal to. When I am talking angle between the asymptotes, I can consider like angle between the asymptotes will be theta equal to 2 secant inverse e. Theta equal to 2 secant inverse e, angle between two asymptotes. So here the angle between the asymptotes of the hyperbola is 2 theta. This is 2 theta, right? This is theta if I consider. This is theta means if I consider this theta, I can get 2 secant theta. This is theta is angle between two asymptotes if I consider. Theta equal to 2 secant inverse of e. Theta equal to 2 secant inverse of e, or theta equal to 2 tan inverse of e by e, where theta is angle between two asymptotes if we consider. Now I am talking about the rectangular hyperbola. In rectangular hyperbola, if the asymptotes of the hyperbola are perpendicular to each other. If asymptotes are perpendicular to each other, then the hyperbola is called rectangular hyperbola. So these are the asymptotes of the hyperbola. Y plus r minus b by a into x. So one slope is b by a, another slope is minus b by a. These are the slopes of the asymptotes. Correct. You take product when they are perpendicular. Taking product is minus 1. Then you simply a is equal to b. So if we replace a equal to b in the given hyperbola equation, we gives equation of rectangular hyperbola. X square minus y square is equal to a square is the equation of the rectangular hyperbola, whose asymptotes are y equal to plus r minus x. Asymptotes are why? Because you can write here. What is the equation of asymptotes here? X square minus y square equal to 0. So y equal to plus r minus x gives equation of asymptotes. Since a is equal to b, the eccentricity is equal to root 2. You can simplify. B square equal to a square d square minus 1. A equal to b means you will get 1 equal to d square minus 1. So a square equal to 2 equal to root 2. So angle with the asymptotes is equal to 90 degrees. Yes, again in rectangular hyperbola, suppose if the asymptotes are the coordinate axis. If the asymptotes are the coordinate axis, then this is x square minus y square a square rectangular hyperbola. If we rotate 45 degrees clockwise, then these atoms will coincide with the coordinate axis. Then the equation x square minus y square equal to a square will become xy equal to c square. Why? Because the equation of axis are x equal to 0, y equal to 0. So the equation of asymptotes will be xy equal to 0 if you rotate 45 degrees, xy equal to 0. I am talking about rectangular hyperbola whose asymptotes are the coordinate axis. Xy equal to 0. Replace 0 with k, xy is equal to constant. Xy is equal to constant equation of the rectangular hyperbola whose asymptotes are coordinate axis. Xy is equal to k. But you can see this is the, like we know, this is the xy equal to, I can consider this is xy equal to constant, xy equal to c square. This is a rectangular hyperbola whose equation is xy equal to c square. So these are passing through the point a by root 2 comma a by root 2. You can substitute xy is equal to k. You can substitute that. You get a square by 2, k equal to a square by 2. Equation will become xy equal to a square by 2. Replace a square by 2 with c square. So the equation will become xy equal to c square, where c square equal to a square by 2. C square equal to a square by 2. Now you can see the parametric equations of this one, x equal to ct, y equal to c by t. Parametric equations at the point t means ct comma c by t. Equation of the tangent at x1 y1, x by x1 plus y by y1 equal to 2. Generally when xy equal to c square, use the application of derivative method, find derivative and find the slope and use the point of contact. You can find equation of tangent and normal. Equation of tangent and normal which is required, we can find easily. Then we can do that. Suppose if the asymptotes of rectangular hyperbola are x equal to alpha, y equal to beta, then its equation is x minus alpha into y minus beta equal to c square. Equation of the rectangular hyperbola, it will be in this form. You can see about the equation of the normal at x1 y1 to the rectangular hyperbola xy equal to c square is, we can write xx1 minus y1 equal to x1 square minus y1 square at the point x1 y1. At the point t, x2 cube minus yt equal to c into t power 4 minus 1. Better use always application of derivative method. Now normal at t1 meets the curve again at t2. Then t1 cube by t2 equal to minus 1. So remember this result may be useful. t1 cube by t2 equal to minus 1. Suppose they are given 3 points. Are the points on xy equal to c square. You take 3 points on xy equal to c square. Then the orthocenter of triangle PQR is the point minus c by t1 t2 t3 minus c t1 t2 t3 which is equal to bs. Yeah, so solace in xy equal to c square only in rectangular hyperbola. So now x square minus y square equal to a square and xy equal to, both are rectangular hyperbola, cut each other orthogonal these two. And the hyperbola conjugate to xy equal to c square is xy equal to minus c square. Conjugate of this is xy equal to c square is xy equal to minus c square. Then another most important points, if a circular rectangular hyperbola xy equal to c square meet at 4 points. These are the 4 points like this. Then t1, t2, t3, t4 equal to 1 they have given. In that case, the product of the x coordinates will be the product x1, x2, x3, x4 equal to y1, y2, y3, y4 is also equal to c power 4. So the product of x coordinates c power 4, the product of y coordinates will be c to the power of 4. See, these points are concyclic. 4 points are concyclic. Then the orthocenter triangle PQR is equal to minus of this fourth point. Minus c t4 minus c by t4. Minus of s. So with this I have completed the topic of hyperbola along with everything. So in the previous videos I have done ellipse and parabola. You can go through all these videos. You will get complete idea about conic section. I hope you study well this. You can improve your score. You can maximize your score in JEE. Thank you.